Hi, my name is Ruth Angus, and I am the director of Yes We Can Peacebuilders, which is a positive peace building organization. And today I'm going to talk about things that happen in our community that contribute to peace in our little private worlds in every one of our towns and all the way across the nation and in the world. And one of those things happens here in Morro Bay, and it has to do unbelievably, with gardening. So today I'm talking with Walter Heath, who is the president of something called Morro Bay in Bloom. And if you'll excuse me, but I'm going to read a little bit what Walter sent me about Morro Bay in Bloom because I think this will give you the best idea of what they're doing, and then he'll tell us how this came about, how this works. So Morro Bay and Bloom, it's a community effort. That means people in the community can join in and they can do gardening, and they install and maintain plantings in our public spaces. They put in attractive floral displays. They select native and water-wise plants. They increase and care for our tree canopy, our urban tree canopy here in the town. And this is real important because this month is Earth Month. They champion environmental initiatives by example, and they celebrate our multicultural heritage. And all of those things contribute, in my opinion, they contribute to peace in our community. So, Walter, welcome. And here we are, and I welcome you in, and I want you to tell me. I think I want to know a little bit about how this got started. And you told me a story about a woman that you met in one of our cafes here. It's a vegetarian uh, cafe. And what did she say to you, and how did this get going like that?
Well, thank you, Ruthann. It's nice to be on the show with you. Yes, actually, in 2010 it was, and I was actually speaking with a couple from Europe, and we were talking, and at some point during the conversation, I believe it was the woman said to me, "You live in such a beautiful natural setting. Why don't you take care of your city?" And so that sort of surprised me, but I did start taking note of what I was seeing in the high visibility, high traffic areas around town,
Hmm.
and decided, yeah, they could be more welcoming, they could be more inviting, and so we set to work on doing that. 3 years later, the group was founded in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were following the example of another city in our county, and we had a new mayor. The new mayor was interested in sprucing up the gateways to the town and also making the public spaces more welcoming.
Yeah. And I understand that this is affiliated with America in Bloom, which is a national program that also has cities and communities across the nation doing similar things that you're doing, and that you have allied with that organization.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, and actually, the city of Arroyo Grande, which is in San Luis Obispo County, was already participating, and their mayor was keen to have us join that and offered to help us at our first session. It just said, just make a date and start to work, and we'll come with our equipment trailer, and you'll have everything that you need to tool wise for people to work that day. So October 25th, 2013 was our first session at the Morro Bay Public Library.
At the library, good
Yeah.
spot. Yeah, yeah. Well, I remember the library at that time. It could have used a little sprucing up. So sometimes you plant in areas in town that are, I'm going to say, neglected spots, neglected spots. And other times you've put in planter boxes and things of that sort in places that didn't have them, right?
Yes, that's true. Basically, we are remediating areas that are high traffic, high visibility. We live in a cool colored environment here in Morro Bay, lots of gray and blue, and browns and greens and so forth. So we introduce warm colors that contrast with that backdrop, yellows and reds and pinks and so forth, and nice mixture. So we're trying to get good ornamental flowering plants in there. And over the years, we're developing more knowledge about natives and putting in natives that can be used in ornamental situations.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. We want people to use native plants. We want people to get rid of lawns. And I think we want to do that across the nation. Since we're celebrating Earth Month this month because we're trying to be kinder to our planet, that might be a good step for people to take. The theme this year through my organization, I affiliate with Pace Beni Nonviolence Service, and the theme this year for Earth Day is everyone can do something, and that is in regards to reducing the climate crisis, and uh, and I think we need to get onto that now. When you started this, you needed little worker bees, so you needed
Yeah.
people from the community to help and do the planting. And as I understand, I don't know how you did your advertising at the time, but as I understand this, people who wanted to garden but didn't have a lot of availability to do that were sometimes involved. And and I think that was successful in getting a good group. And now, how big is your group now that does this?
Well, our group is between 50 to 60 people. And at most sessions, we have 10 to 12 volunteers. And we're able to, structure the work comfortably around, a group of that size. And if the group is smaller, we downsize the project so that we're following a 2 hour model so that something can be accomplished and people have a sense of achievement after 2 hours. And if we have more people, then we just scale it up a little bit.
The 2 hour time frame, that's important. How did you come about with that 2 hour time frame?
Well, it's interesting. Going back to my days working on the Obama campaign as a volunteer, uh, I heard then candidate Obama say it was just remarkable when he was a community organizer how much 8 people could get done in 2 hours. I said, well, that sort of makes sense to me anyway. Given my age and giving kind of like the limits of people in terms of a session, how much are they willing to work? And then I thought, I've done 3 hour sessions, that's kind of pushing it. An hour isn't enough, so we hit on that, and we kind of coined the tag phrase, beautifying Morro Bay 2 hours at a time.
That's really cute. That's really good. And you do beautify Morro Bay. It's called Morro Bay in Bloom. Who came up with the name?
Well, actually, we wanted to play off our affiliation with America in Bloom, and many of the America in Bloom communities add in Bloom to the name of their city,
Oh, do they?
and they're okay with that. America in Bloom lets us do that.
Yeah. That's an interesting program, a national program, and they also have so many elements to it, landscaping and floral design and urban forestry. And I know that they're big on the environment. And so I thought this too, celebrating heritage, because that's important in your community too, isn't it?
It
And
sure is.
yeah, and one of the things that has come really around the circle to me about your group is that whoever decides to do this, whoever decides to volunteer and help you garden at Morro Bay in Bloom, they could be from any walk of life. They could be any political persuasion, any religious persuasion, philosophical, etc. Anything, right? And
Oh,
what's
absolutely.
and what's neat is they all get together in a common cause. They all get together to do something positive, and that's positive peace building. And I don't know of any other organization here in town that really brings that out so much as yours does. That should be something you should really be proud of. And
Thank
I don't know if anybody's ever said that to you or if you even realized that. But see, that's what I thought, and that's what I saw in Morro Bay and Bloom. And I
Yeah,
thought that,
we
yeah,
yes, yeah. I tend to say it's community building through shared service.
yeah, yeah. And community is very important in positive peace building. I believe you should start in the community. That, or really, that's where it starts. We're not gonna change anything from the top down. The You had an interest in gardening all along. I think you told me it was your grandfather's garden that you got involved in.
That's right. Yeah, as a young person, I raised annuals from my father's garden in my grandfather's greenhouse, and he
Ah,
lived close by, and so that's how I got started with gardening.
now you're from San Francisco,
Yes.
and and I've been to San Francisco. It's a pretty big city, a
Yeah.
lot of concrete. So how do you garden in San Francisco?
Well, San Francisco is an interesting place. To this day, San Francisco is both a city and a county
Oh,
within
yeah.
its within its limits. And to this day, the San Francisco County Fair is a floral show.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
mentioned that to me. I can't believe that. So
I
no
know.
cows, no sheep, no.
No, none of that. Yeah,
What about
maybe at one time it was, but at least during my lifetime, it's always been a floral show.
a floral show? So no carnival? No, none of that. I mean, I don't like the
None of
carnival anyway,
that, no
but
rides, none of
no
that good
rides.
stuff. Kind of
It's
boring in a sense,
flowers.
but yeah, kind of boring in a sense. But my family was into it, so we'd go
So
over
you
to
did that.
the
Yeah.
Hall of Flowers and see the tuberous begonia that my grandfather had entered in the for judging and so forth. And
Wow.
yeah, it was valued in my family, so
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of that
Yeah.
because there are so many benefits to gardening.
Yeah. As far as Morro Bay in Bloom and America in Bloom and contests, do they have a contest element?
Yeah, they do. There is a contest element, but in conjunction with an evaluation, two judges will come to our city and they have metrics for each of the categories on which we're judged,
Mhm.
and then a basically an evaluation is written that we can submit to our city staff, and that's just more input on ways that experts feel we can improve. And
Great.
so it really is a valuable program that way.
Yeah, yeah. So they actually can give you the advice that they think you might need.
Absolutely. And there
Yeah.
have been a couple of things called to our city staff's attention that have been addressed, which is gratifying. There's
Oh,
a lot of work goes into it and
how
some
has the city
fundraising.
responded to that? How
Oh,
has
very
yeah,
well. Very
very
well. Yeah.
positively? Yeah.
Yeah, very well, and they're very proud of the fact when the contest is by population category, so
Oh.
that large cities don't have an advantage over smaller cities. And Morro Bay has won its population category 3 years in a row,
Mhm.
and so they're proud of that.
That's great.
They
That's
have the
great.
trophies. They have the little trophies in their conference room.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
So the city's happy. I'm glad to hear that. I know that you help our public works department quite a bit, and that
Oh, they help us.
and
Then
they
they
help
help
you.
us.
Yeah.
It is very much a two-way street, and we have a lot of respect for the members of our public works staff.
Yeah. Yeah. They're hardworking guys, and we don't have a very big staff. For those that get this across the country, this is not a large city. I think
No,
we have maybe around 10,000 population, and half of those are children. So I don't know what that's. 6,000 households, I think it was, when I was doing newspaper work that I found that out. So that makes it a
and
little
that hasn't
different.
changed a lot.
No,
And
no.
on any given weekday, there might be 7,500 actually in the city. There are a
Yeah,
lot of
that's true.
vacant vacation homes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're making the city beautiful, and that helps us with our economy, which is basically 100% tourism. So Morro Bay and Bloom does a lot of good things for that. Let's talk about the upcoming event and tell me about I Love, or as you put it, I Heart, and that's the. I wish we had our logo here. Our
Yeah.
I Heart Morro Bay. What is I Heart Morro Bay, and when is it going to happen, and what's it going to have?
Well, last year was the inaugural event, and it came about when we decided to feature our 2 hour model because it amazes people that we're able to get what we get done in 2 hours. And we've gotten very good at structuring the work appropriately so that people have a sense of achievement. And so I said, let's feature that and do a bunch of projects at one time with a bunch of people and get it done in 2 hours, and then everyone will be amazed, and it'll be a lot of fun. So we did that, and 156 people showed up. We planted 14 street trees, 3 pollinator gardens. We basically cleaned up, did spring cleaning of the plant material at our off-road bike park, which is a large park. The cleaned up the landscaping at the elementary school, and cleaned up our downtown. And then for those who really, aren't into gardening or unable to garden, as vigorously as we do,
Yeah.
we had a public art project, and that was intergenerational, young and old. It was a sight to see. 50 people painting galvanized metal buckets that had been prepped to accept acrylic paints, and now they are planters beneath our street trees downtown.
And I think you have a few planters and something that I'm very proud of, and I'm very proud of our collaboration because for years I think I had been hounding you about that. I wanted a peace garden in Morro Bay, and we finally got that completely done this
You got
year.
that done.
I got that done. I know. Well, that's what I said. I hounded you. But you had the garden. You had the garden. I had to have a spot. I had to have a good place to do that. And I didn't know where to go. So I think in 2016 I was on you right away. I want a peace garden. And we have one in a great spot. So if you visit Morro Bay and you get off at our roundabout, Morro Bay Boulevard, and you go straight down Morro Bay Boulevard, please stop at all the stop signs. And at the very end is the Morro Bay Peace Garden. And right now it has those cute little pails that are planted. And it also has um, the plantings that you already have in there, which are a group of succulents, right? Mostly
Right.
succulents in
Yeah.
that spot.
Right. We kept the central grouping of agave because they're quite sculptural and
Yeah,
and attract attention to the peace pole. And that's what we want. That's the featured pole, and it has that nice green backdrop. And I should add about the buckets that they're painted artistically. They're not just painted a solid color.
oh right,
It's just whatever the artist is
wants to
feeling,
do. Yeah,
and they're just incredible. And so they're kind of becoming a signature element of the town as we add more groupings of them.
that's great. I hate to say this, when we put in the peace pole is about not quite 4 feet high, and it says "May peace prevail on earth," and it is an artist rendered peace pole. Also, it isn't the white peace poles that most people are used to, so it fits along with the garden theme because it's very colorful,
Right.
and the peace pots too. And I worried about the peace pole and the peace pots that somebody would come along and think, oh, these are really nice and I want to bring this home to my town and would pick them up and go
So
off with them.
so
I
far
don't
so
know what that
good.
tells me about me and human nature, but I was a little worried about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a little bit of a peace test,
it is a
and we're
peace
passing.
test.
Yeah, the people are passing. We haven't lost a
We
single
haven't lost
bucket
anything.
planter nor a peace pole.
Or a pole, yeah.
Yeah,
And we have a wonderful spot there that has a concrete pad that was put in, and on top of that is our bench, which was made out of recycled milk bottles or milk containers, I guess,
right.
right?
That's
Milk
right.
containers, yeah.
Yeah.
That to me also, how you found a place that makes a bench like that. But it's nice the person can sit in the bench, they can reflect on the peace pole, and I believe that is the trolley stop
It
and the
is.
stop for the RTA or whatever it is. Yeah,
Yes, it
our
is.
little bus that goes
Yeah, it's
around.
a transit
It's
stop as
absolutely
well.
perfect spot for a peace garden. But we're putting in
I just love it when Public Works told me of the plans. I said, "Oh, this is going to be great."
yeah.
So we wanted to make it nice.
Well, you did. It really did. And we're working
Thanks.
on a second one, but you've got a planting spot down on the Embarcadero along the Harbor Walk, and we have another peace pole that the grammar school kids at our grammar school here, Del Mar Elementary, was able to they were able to sell little piece pickets that they made, and they were able to buy another piece pole. So we're going to do another one, which is going to
Yeah.
be great.
Oh, and
So
it's in
what?
a very much of a high traffic area too. A
Yeah,
lot of people visit
that
it.
one even better, I would say. But that one up there gets a lot of people
Oh, it totally
coming.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
told that on a busy weekend, 10,000 people pass through that plaza.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes my day.
Yeah.
That really makes my day. I'm glad to hear those figures. I'm going to pass that information along. The event, April 19th, starts at
Oh, well, it starts at 8:30. We convene at a park downtown near the police department where Morro Bay Boulevard and Harbor Street converge. And then we have a brief opening ceremony. We usually try to do some kind of a little group dance. Uh, and we're leaning toward the chicken dance this time.
what is the
And
chicken dance?
no, don't you know? Da, 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 yeah, that one. And and then we send
Okay.
people off to garden with their project navigator, and everything is prepped. We pretty much prepped the difficulty out of it because we're geared with these for completion within 90 minutes. Because usually we don't get folks going until about 9:30. It takes a little bit of time for people to gather, and we kind of do our thing, and so they'll be back between 11 and noon, and then we'll have a community celebration from noon to 3 with food trucks and music and games and all
More
that good stuff.
dancing. More
Or
dancing
dancing, yeah, or people who are really into their bucket. I mean, it can take 5 6 hours to
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 really, yeah, do
real.
your
Oh, some
artistic
of them
touch.
are just gorgeous. I wish I had some photos of some examples. It's
Yeah.
they are
We
just they are just amazing.
Yeah, I've seen them. They are beautiful.
Yeah,
Um, so it's 28 projects you told me, and it means
yeah.
and this is not just for the group that's already volunteering with you. This is for the entire community to come out and chime in and do a little gardening project with the regular volunteers. I imagine you're going to have somebody from each one of those going along with the groups. So they're going to
Thank
go
you for
to
mentioning that.
yeah,
That is quite true.
yeah.
We have 184 people signed up so far. Last year we had 4 youth groups. This year we have 9 organized youth groups. So we'll have 70, at least 70 young gardeners.
Oh,
In that 184. And
that's
I think
great.
we'll probably hit 200 before the actual date. So it's a lot to prep for. There are a lot of moving parts with this event, a lot of things, to equip people properly with the tools they need and the safety gear that they
Yeah.
need, and it's a little bit of a different process. We've been doing it so long that we kind of know each other. It's sort of second nature when we arrive to a site what we're going to be doing, and people kind of start in. These are newbies, and they're going to be not exactly familiar, maybe not comfortable. So the whole goal is to gear this towards their comfort and their success, so they want to come back next year.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And you'll get new volunteers out of that too, I would assume. You might.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And families with children, especially, they're going to be empty nesters someday and looking for something to do with their free time.
Right.
And I'm always thinking about succession because, a lot of
We have to.
volunteer organizations fade and then just kind of go away for
Right.
lack of succession. And that's always on my mind, is that how do we keep this going?
Keep it rolling. And well, you have for what, 12 years now?
Yeah, for
That's
12 years.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
like it to
great.
go 120 years. We'll see. I won't know if we make it, so it's
You'll
fine.
have to be passing the baton on to someone
Yeah,
else. But
yeah,
that
yeah.
would be great. Yeah, we
Or
do
the
need to do
pitchfork.
that. Yeah.
Or
Or a
the pitchfork.
pitchfork.
Maybe
Yeah.
not a baton. Yeah.
So you bring all the tools for everybody to use too.
Oh yeah, and
Gardening tools.
that is an undertaking.
Yeah.
It's just we're doing one project where we'll probably use 65 shovels. And
Wow.
and I ordered 2.5 ton of crushed granite rock.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
this is no fooling around. I mean, yeah, but we break it down to a manageable size so that it's just so doable.
2 hours.
social
and
gardening.
in 2 hours social gardening.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so happy to hear that you've got that many youth groups. I have a feeling they're the ones that are going to be using the 65 yeah, whatever shovels and
Yeah.
what have you. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
great. That's really great. Yeah,
And then we have one project for gardeners who just wish to, stand
yeah,
and not do the gardening on their
yeah.
knees
Tell us
anymore.
about that because that's important. It's an interesting city project also.
It is. We're getting some new trash recycling containers that have trays on top in which you can install plants, and you can put planting mix and and soil, and then just plant the tops of these fixtures. And so that's what that project will be about. We'll be installing the plants in the brand new trash recycling fixtures.
Which are going to be placed around the city in various
Yeah,
places around the city.
these mostly along the waterfront.
Great,
These are the first 15, and so and they are going to be mostly along our waterfront.
great.
So yeah,
Do
we're
you
looking
think
forward to that.
do you think you'll ever run out of places to put in new spots, new places for plantings in the city? I mean, we're not a very large town, but we are an elongated town
We
along,
are.
along the water because we're right
Yeah,
on
it's
the
about
edge of
4
the
miles
ocean.
long.
Yeah,
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 and about a mile wide.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't believe so. I believe there will always be a need for color,
yeah,
and yeah, and something that looks nice. It's just
yeah.
it's great for it to be a tourist town and having things look nice.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
yeah,
It raises
and
the spirits of everybody. I was thinking earlier today, when before we had anything out there, before any plantings were out there that were pretty or even good, nice native succulents and what have you. Before we had that, we would go around and you would look and you would say, "Oh, look at that," "Well, that's a mess. Oh, look at that, look at that." But nowadays, you can walk around and all of the good stuff is there, and it gets into your head, it gets into your whole psyche how wonderful that is. And it's more of a feeling thing than it is of, oh, look at that, or oh, not look at that. You know what I'm saying?
oh, it totally is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's amazing what 12 years of 2-hour sessions can do for a city.
yeah, yeah,
And we have the planter boxes downtown, and those are taken care of individually by people who, can't really do the social gardening anymore, and or they want to structure their own time.
yeah.
Their own schedules don't conform to ours, so they just want to work when they can. And
Okay.
it's remarkable how many of those planter box folks tell me that visitors come up to them, and residents, especially residents, come up to them and say, "This brightens my mood."
Oh,
And
great.
after 30 days of overcast, I get to feeling kind of sad, and
Yeah.
I this gets me out of the house. I love looking at the colors. I love looking at what you're doing now, because each box is designed individually by the person who adopts it.
That makes
So
it.
it's not like there's any conformity as there are in
Oh,
many
that's
other
neat.
towns.
Adopt a box.
I think
Yeah.
most cities, they have a similar design. Not so in Morro Bay. It's all
Yeah.
individual interpretation, which is, I think, remarkable
Oh,
for
that's
those
better.
volunteers. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're operating outside of their comfort zones.
Yeah.
They're gardening for an audience, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just remarkable to see what they come up with, and how their knowledge of plants and what works in that particular box.
Sure. They
It's a
learn.
trial and error thing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's an adopt a box thing. I think that's great. Maybe they'll do the adopt a box with those recycle things too.
Oh yeah, they're gardening royalty too,
Yeah.
Ruth Ann. I mean, because I don't see those folks as often as I do the folks who attend the social gardening sessions once or twice a week, right?
Right.
It's hit and miss with anybody who's at a planter box. So we do a monthly coffee, and I put together little swag bags, and we treat the planter box volunteers like they're gardening
Oh,
royalty.
I'll
I mean,
bet. Yeah.
yeah, they're
That's a
spoiled
huge
rotten,
help.
and they deserve to be, because it's a risky proposition out there. When
Right.
sometimes plants get stolen. I don't want to get onto off topic
Uh-oh.
into a
That's not
bad
good.
area,
Now
but there
that's
is
interesting. Plants
vandalism.
get stolen, but
I
we haven't had a
know.
pocket stolen, and we
I
haven't had a
know.
feasting get stolen.
I know.
Wow.
I
Wow.
know. And
Wow.
I try to put a positive spin on it and say, wow, you made such a great choice that somebody wants it in their garden too.
You know what? That's yeah, let them have it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, that's great. Listen, I want to say that you can sign up at morrowbayinbloom.org for the
Yes.
April 19th event. We need to say that, or just go to that website anyway and learn a little more about Morro Bay in Bloom. And what else do you want to tell me? We're close to when we're going to cut off, and I'm going to make a little announcement about a wonderful song that we're going to hear at the end of this thing. But tell me what else? Did we miss anything, Walter?
Not at all. And I really appreciate this time we've had together, Ruth Ann. It's a lot of fun. And
It
I can't
has been.
wait to do the next Peace Garden with you.
Oh, soon, really soon. I have to let our Public Works Department know that we're putting in our second peace pole down in your garden spot down there on the Harbor Walk in Morro Bay, California. So that'll be neat. And I'd like to get it in there because pretty soon we're going to have our full tourist season. So it's morrowbayinbloom.org. And we have a wonderful song that I heard from my very good friend who is our technical person on this, Dr. Barry Ebert, calling "Growing Our Garden." And it's just the lyrics of this fit so well. It's from the Mile High Church Children's Choir, and they say, and the end of it says, "We are all growing up just fine." And the kids, they're supposed to sing a little bit. I don't see that they sing that much, but they're doing a lot of sign language with it too. It's a really cute way to end our little talk today. And Walter and I, we're going to do this every now and then. We're going to catch up and see how things are going and get this out, because this will go all across the country to people that are on my mailing list, and wherever the public can get YouTube and wherever the public can get things like podcasts, etc. So
That'll be
thank you
so much
so
fun.
much. Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. All right, we're signing off right now from Ruth and Angus at Yes We Can Peace Builders. It's positive peace building through gardening. Morro Bay in Bloom. See ya.
So they're singing and they're signing. There's a lot to this, but you can do it, all right? I'm counting on you. All right, just pay attention. The world is a garden, so fertile and fine. We get to tend it while we're together in time. We live in a greenhouse, what a beautiful show. We're learning by reaping all the seeds that we sow. We're growing our garden, we're planting good seed. Loving the rain, loving the sun, we got all that we need. Already seeing the harvest that'll come in its own good time. We're growing our garden, and we're all growing up just fine. When the weeds come a-calling, as weeds always do, we'll take time to pull them so all the good can get through. So good to be in this garden, working together with you. We're keeping it simple, and we're keeping it true. Here we go. We're growing our garden, we're planting good seed. We're loving the rain, loving the sun, we got all that we need. Already seeing the harvest that'll come in its own good time. We're growing our garden, and we're all growing